Thanks for joining me for football predictions and food and wine pairings. Now, this is going to be the last football prediction for the 2025-2026 season. When the new season starts in the fall, I'll start right back up. But that doesn't mean that there will be no more food and wine pairings and predictions. Throughout the year, I'll just be highlighting other sports and other activities that are coming up. So like and subscribe so you can enjoy those experiences with me and find out about these great wines. Now, I obviously want to talk about the game. It is happening this Sunday. We're going to see two teams that are 14-3. That's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New England Patriots. Out of this, it is kind of a really interesting situation because we're going to be seeing two first-time quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. Drake May is only in his second season. He's the Patriots quarterback, and so now he finds himself in the Super Bowl. And Sam Darnold is not in his second season. He's been a kind of a journeyman quarterback, but it's his first time in the Super Bowl, and he's also the first quarterback from the 2018 draft class to actually make it to the Super Bowl. If you're wondering who else was in the 2018 draft class, a few people you may have heard of, like Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. So that's something that he can hang his hat on. The Seattle Seahawks are 4.5-point favorite, and I am taking the Seattle Seahawks. And the reason for that is that defense wins championships, and their defense is top-notch. They have had 28 pressures just during the postseason. They, all season long, were the highest scoring defense, meaning that they were taking pick sixes and safeties all season against everybody. I'd also like to remind people that they literally took belt to ass against the 49ers 2 times in a row to remind people that they were really a force to be reckoned with. Not to mention, Drake May has been sacked 15 times in the postseason. That's not a great look. Now, I think that probably the first quarter is going to be kind of not great because each of them is going to be filling it out and trying to figure out if the stage is too big for them. But I think Sam Darnold will prevail and the Seahawks will win. Now, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what would be the right wine to go with the Super Bowl. I'm going to have a lot of delicious food items. You know, I normally make a 7-layer dip that includes ground meat, which is super great. And this time I will be bringing back something I made for the first time last year, which was a queso fundido with chorizo, poblano chili, and sauteed mushrooms. And it's just like a big melted cheese thing. As well as there'll be chicken wings, and I'm going to be trying to convince my dad that he wants to smoke some ribs. So there will be many things to eat that are delicious, fatty, greasy, you know, spicy, not spicy. And I needed one wine that could handle all of those situations. And after a lot of contemplation, the wine that I decided on is one that I just really enjoy drinking in general. And that wine is the Vallejo Cellars 2018 Valdepenas. Now, the only way to get this wine is to go to the website. So I will include a link in my description so you can go to the website and get this bottle. This bottle is $32 and worth every cent. Inside of this bottle, I found out, it does not say on the website, but I found out that this is actually Tempranillo. And the one thing that was very surprising to me is that I've had many Tempranillos. It is the most common grape that you would get if you were having a wine from Rioja. And I have had other Tempranillos that have been grown here in California, in Oregon, in Washington. And there is something particular about the way that this tastes. I mean, this is a pure example of terroir, where the soil conditions and the aging conditions are really coming together to create an excellent wine. Now, I also want to tell you that this is maybe not for greenhorns. It's 14% alcohol by volume, so you want to take it easy, but it does have a pretty light body, so it's kind of easy to like have more than your fair share. It also comes from Northern California, Contra Costa County, in a city I'd never heard of before called Knightson. And I found out that's like deep in eastern Contra Costa County, close to where all the agricultural things are grown. So if you take a look in the glass right here, you can see it as a beautiful dark purple color. But if you were here with me, you could see that it's actually a little bit see-through, that the color is really light and the edges are just a light ruby. On the nose, it has a lot of green vegetables and violet, dark cherry, and plum. On the tongue, getting dried cherry, chocolate, a little bit of plum, pepper, so it's like a touch spicy, tomato leaf, and there was one more thing in there, so let me get it. And it is actually quite juicy and silky. It's medium tannins. It is incredibly enjoyable. I've been fortunate enough to have it several times, and I'm really looking forward to having it on Super Bowl Sunday and sharing it with a few friends of mine who have not had it. Now, the real challenge for me will be to not finish this bottle of wine before Sunday arrives. All right, let's recap everything for the Super Bowl. 1, go ahead and take the Seahawks. They are in it to win it, and I feel confident about their ability to win. 2, go ahead and get yourself a bottle of Valdepenas from Vallejo Cellars 2018. Even if you don't get it in time for the Super Bowl, you will not regret spending the money on this because it is super delicious. Cheers.